I'm gonna give you just 7 seconds to answer this question. How far is this order? Well, if you guessed 14 minutes and 4.5 miles, you are correct. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike. On this channel, I help you with the gig economy, your side hustle, your full-time hustle, making money and creating multiple revenue streams. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. And for a limited time, save 20% on your A to Z course on mastering food delivery platforms. Mastering delivery found on your drivermike.com. Use code SUPERCHARGE. So why would I throw a pop quiz at you to start here on an app that, well, firstly, are you familiar with this app? This is Grubhub. And I asked you that because unlike apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash, with Grubhub, we can't see a predicted route and we can't see the miles. So I have a multi-apping shift for you today. Driving on a Grubhub, on Uber Eats and DoorDash, and simply, picking the best order for you when you're out there driving. And yeah, this order from Grubhub looked pretty good, but it is a roll of the dice on a Grubhub. So it is Honey Grow. It's $12.66 on really a blind dollars to mile ratio. That's how much am I getting paid for the miles driven. Unlike those other apps, in my opinion, you really need to know at least a good guesstimate of your marketplace, just being able to quickly estimate that dollars to mile ratio to see, does this order really make sense to accept? So driving with my brother Matt here, we accepted this one. Again, just being online with 3 apps at the same time here. And then we got this request on another app, of course. So it's DoorDash for Chipotle, $8 for 2.9 miles. So going back to market expertise here now, yeah, on DoorDash, I can see it's gonna be 2.9 miles. I can see a predicted route, which just kind of helps me visualize, okay, where am I gonna be heading to? Did you get kind of a feeling here though when I said Chipotle? How are those types of locations in your marketplace? These restaurants, in my opinion, if they have different locations, right, this is a chain place, they really do vary by location. This location versus there's one that's literally down the road versus one that is also another maybe 5 minutes away. From my experience, and you'll get this too in your marketplace, you'll know, okay, this is my preferred, whatever it is, Chipotle. This is my number 2, or this is the slow one. So then you can just kind of make smart decisions. Okay, I should be in and out, or I may have to wait a little bit, but no waiting on this, a stacked order. So we got another offer here. So this one, $6.25 for an additional 2.7 miles. When I get a stacked order, I'm looking at, yeah, obviously the additional miles here, but I'm just kind of visualizing in my head, okay, how far away is this pickup from pickup number 1? Is it gonna be a lot of additional driving? In this case, it's literally within walking distance. I know that's easy, and then don't forget, the ending destination. My final ending destination has now changed because now, of course, I have 2 drop-offs. So am I happy with that final ending destination? Now you can see actually the final destination by looking for this house icon. So if I'm looking at this screen here, the dot indicates my first drop-off, and then that final destination that I should really be analyzing is that house icon. Now, there's been a discussion with a recent new order request screen, specifically on DoorDash. So if we look at this again, just your standard order here, it's $8. Now, this does include the expected tip. Now, DoorDash has been kind of beta testing a new screen that doesn't show that expected tip from the customer, just really the base pay. But most of marketplaces should have this screen here. And what's good about it is, yes, it does include the expected tip, but sometimes it can actually be higher, never lower, but actually sometimes, yes, higher. In this case, this actually turned out to be a $10 delivery instead of $8. So as you most likely know, when you're driving on DoorDash, either the Dash Now feature or scheduled dashes, you're really driving in a certain segment of your overall marketplace. That is, unless you're in a very small marketplace. But generally, we're driving, again, in a segment of your market. Now, what I really haven't seen before is this. So if you actually finish an order, as in this case, we're finishing outside of that scheduled zone, the Dasher app is really actively prompting us to get back into that scheduled zone. So we can see here, you're outside your delivery zone. navigate back to increase your chances of finding orders. Now, really the thinking around this in the past is, okay, how far away from my scheduled zone am I? Because in this scenario, I'm literally across the bridge. I'm basically in the zone. I'm pretty close. So I should still get orders in the scheduled zone. I don't have to go back into the scheduled zone. But let me know, do you still get orders sitting right outside of a scheduled zone or a dash zone? Or do you really have to go back into your delivery zone? Now, let's say you get pulled away like 15, 18 minutes outside of your scheduled zone, outside of your delivery zone. Now, keep in mind, you're the one accepting these orders here, but let's say you get pulled out of the zone. Now, what we've talked about is a shift audible. It's really shifting your, shift from your current scheduled zone to the new zone that you've just ended in. Now, that is really a market expertise move because you have to assume that it's busy enough to use dash now to actually dash in that new zone. So you would actually go offline, you would end your dash in your scheduled zone, and then do a shift audible, go online using dash now in that new zone. Now, actually, we can see here, we don't have to go really back into that literal scheduled zone. We're still getting order requests. Now, this one, it's a stacked order for Roots and Chipotle for $9. Now that, a $4.50 individual payout, not high enough, declined. But this one's not too bad here. It's really getting me to where I want to finish anyway. So $9. Forbes Gyro maybe could have been a better dollars to amount ratio, but positioning wise, this one's okay. So I want to pose a question to you. Multi-apping, right? Driving on different apps at the same time and selecting the best orders for you. Now, keep in mind, that's not accepting multiple orders from multiple platforms at the same time. Don't do that. Some of that can actually get you deactivated. But simply keeping your options open and being online. So the question is, multi-apping, is it actually beneficial? Was it beneficial as far as the numbers tonight? Let's take a look. So tonight's multi-apping shift was from 7 p.m. until 8:45 p.m. During this shift, the gross revenue from DoorDash, $25.25 plus $12.66 from Grubhub for a total gross revenue of $37.91. That equals a gross revenue per hour of $21.66 per hour. Note, there were no orders here from Uber Eats. Really nothing attractive enough as far as the pay, at least tonight here. So with these other two apps here, let's call it $22 an hour, maybe a touch under average, but you will have that either driving solely on DoorDash, Grubhub, or Uber Eats, and or multi-apping, so not too worried there. During the shift, we completed 4 deliveries, received 4 tips with an average tip on par there, $4.89. Smart business miles at 15.2, which equals a payout where we want to be, $2.10 paid out per mile. Now remember, your goal this year should be $1.75 paid out per mile. And based on those miles, a tax deduction of $8.51. I think the biggest takeaway from multi-apping that you also need to remember, it's just keeping your options open, not only for pay, but just operationally. What happens if one of these apps go down? What happens if you get violations on DoorDash and maybe you get deactivated? Whatever happens, right? Or something happens just generally that prevents you from driving on one of these platforms, maybe a rerun, background check, what have you. It's good to multi-app. You have those options, and when you can go online with all of them, you have the most options when you're out there driving. So let me know your thoughts on multi-apping on this shift. Any questions? Definitely post that down below in the comments. And if you got value in this video, definitely drop me a like. And you can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.